Welcome to A World Made of Cardboard Assembles. Over the past couple of years, a friend of the channel named Gojitron, he runs a YouTube channel where he reviews pop culture, comic books, cartoons, toys, anything from the 70s, 80s. Really a neat little channel. I'm going to put a link to his channel down below. But Gojitron has been sending me kits every now and then, and things that I'm really interested in, like really one day I'm going to do a review of this. I am so excited to try to review this kit. This is a beautiful punch out book of Big Hero 6, and I'm really wanting to review this, but I haven't had the time to sit down and do it right and actually get things going with it, mainly due to my job situation. But he also sent this kit too, which is three heroes from the Avengers. You got Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Panther. He said he found this one at Dollar Tree. I couldn't find them at any Dollar Tree near me, but I thought, well, one day I'm going to review this one too, because this is a neat looking little kit here. I'm really interested in doing this. This is a foam board kit, but it makes three little figures from the Avengers comic book universe. One of the things he sent was a kit by Jazwares. This is a Star Wars kit in which you can make a 12-inch tall Darth Vader figure. It is from Jazwares. It is the Blueprints Papercraft kit. This was made sometime back in 2016, 2015. I'm not sure exactly the year. The copyright date is not on this thing. But I found it really interesting that I remember seeing these in the store. You can see they got Kylo Ren in the corner. So we're talking about the time when The Force Awakens came out. So that'd be sometime in the 2016 when this one was released. What was interesting is I went to a local toy store called Retro Madness, and they had one of these kits too on sale in their clearance section. And when I went up to the counter to buy it, because I was like, I want to keep my kit from Gojitron intact, the guy at the counter said, "Here, you can have it." And I was like, okay. So I have been gifted 2 kits. So Retro Madness, I'll put a link to their website down below. They're a neat little toy store, little retro toy store, dealing with things from the 70s and 80s, but they mostly deal with console repair, retro console repairs. But they do have some toys and some little odds and ends like this. So I thought what I would do is take one of these kits and actually build it, assemble it here on the channel. So let's see what we got. I already opened up this one. This kit was sealed hard. This was really tough to get out. I had a hard time just getting past the glue on this thing. But that's it. Comes with a simple sheet of instructions. Single sheet, double-sided. And it has some pretty neat little illustrations there on how to build this kit. And it gives some general instructions right at the beginning. Oh, ask an adult to help press out any tight tabs with a pencil. Okay. Well, I will use my embossing tool for that. My sweet little embossing tool. Anyway, let's get started. Jazwares was a company founded in 1997 by a lawyer. His wife told him to go ahead and live his dream and build a toy company, and so he did. Since then, they've branched out from just paper stuff to actual products and good figures and neat little toys. So it's a neat little toy company. I've kind of been interested in them. I have assembled a kit like this before. I did the Hulkbuster armor kit a while back on this channel, and I was not really pleased with it. It did not come out very well, but let's see how this one fares. Okay, it says do the arms first. So here's one arm. Let's find the other arm. Here's the other arm. Looks like they folded a part over already right there, so this is going to be interesting. Take out the parts that are not needed, the little parts here. So let's start folding. Okay. Alright, it's doing the same technique on the elbows as the Hulkbuster did, kind of building it kind of backwards a little bit so that it will have kind of an elbow joint there. That's a little complicated, so we'll just take our time with it, try to build it. Trying to make sure my construction is within the camera here at the same time so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now that is interesting. Now I'm assembling this as I go. So what you're seeing right now would be if you tried to do this yourself, you would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now. This is my first time assembling a Jazwares Star Wars kit. Alright. Now they just, in the instructions, they just show folding it over. They don't give tab A's and the slot A or anything like that. They just give you the instructions, fold it over and put it in. So let's see what happens here in the process. Kind of a tight fit. Right. That went together. The embossing tool to get that little part out. There is a little slot right there. That is really tiny. Right there. Wow. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, why are you doing this kit and not the others? Well, like I said earlier, it's my time constraints. I have had a lot of increased workload at my job, and so trying to find the time to actually build something like this has become rather difficult, to say the least. And okay. Okay, had to stop right there for a minute. My headphones, where I'm recording everything, decided to cut out on me, and I had to figure out what was going on. But I've officially assembled this one arm. I'm trying to do this in real time, so you'll see how long it will take to actually assemble one of these kits. So let's do the other arm now. Apologize for the blurriness every now and then too. I've been trying to make sure that doesn't happen, but I'm finding myself moving the parts back and forth closer to the camera more than I should. So just trying to do the best I can with this to make sure that you can see everything and see what's going on. And there's a one little letter right there, G1, but there's no other part on the pattern here on the to label that, so I don't know what that was for. But anyway, so far I'm gonna have to say I'm having the same problem I did with the Hulkbuster kit. If you get the chance, take a look at that review. I'll put the link down in the description below as to what went on with that kit. I found it to be very cumbersome to put together. They were attempting to make the things out of as few parts as possible and make it where you could assemble it, but it made for some really complicated pieces to try to assemble. Like one of the parts, I even made the comment, looked like a gerrymandered voting district. It was just a wirely little piece, and this itself, I mean, this little part right here is the only thing that is connecting both the upper arm and the lower arm together, and I find that very confusing, very disconcerting as far as trying to make a decent kit, you know, make something that's easy to put together. The one thing you don't want to do is build something that becomes so complicated that you can't really put it together easily. So, let's do what we can with it here. I'm going to put together the lower part first, and also I'm going to go ahead and make the hands, the slot for the hands where it's visible. You can actually insert the lightsaber into it. That's a little more than I expected to make that one wide. But anyway, I am still impressed with how well the parts are going together. The tabs are inserting and they're staying together pretty decently. I will say there is a problem with this part right here. This is by far the most complicated piece of all of them. Mainly because it's just, they're attempting, I think, to do too much with just a simple connection here. I think that's what's happening. And it just makes for a part that doesn't want to go together easily. They're trying to make an elbow joint right here and trying to make the parts link together and fold up in an interesting shape. Instead of just having a straight arm, this thing has an elbow. So it's nice. I mean, it works. It's just a little bit complicated to get this shape to form out just right. And the tabs, though, they snap in quite well. The type of paper they used, or cardstock, is really sturdy. So I'm rather impressed with that. So this part's going together okay. Next, it says put the torso together. So here's the torso. Alright. Move the arms out of the way so I don't accidentally crush them. Wow. Okay, that is a lot of weird little parts. A lot of shapes going on here. Trying to figure out where we're going to start folding. Oh, man. Was not anticipating such a complicated fold here. I can understand attempting to make something that is really good looking, something that looks well, but The instructions here are vague at best. There's no real thing. It's just a couple little arrows here and there. So as you're folding, you're having to figure out, okay, is this a tab or is this something that just kind of slides underneath? Slide underneath there, I guess. So very complicated, to say the least. Okay, this has definitely got to go, and that folds over. That folds that way, I think. Like I said, it's just really a complicated little piece, attempting to make sure it all goes together. Interesting. We got two different shapes there, two different symbols. My theory is, I bet you yep, this is the leg here. You can see that shape right there. So this is undoubtedly supposed to go into that slot. The only problem is you end up assembling the whole thing, and it looks like those slots totally fold up on you. But I think we may be able to leave that out for a little bit and fold it up here. Okay, first one going in is this guy. Okay. Alright, it looks like what they're attempting to do is have these folds lock into themselves when the thing is fully assembled. Well, that makes sense, but yeah, there we go. So that's one side of the body almost done. Still got to put this together. Now, one thing I remember when I first saw these kits, this kit was $10. And like I've said before, that is, on other videos, that is really expensive for a paper model kit. It better be one good kit at $10, you know. You shouldn't have to wonder if you're putting it together right. It should go together quite nicely, easily, and make a very dynamic finished product. One of the problems that happens with kits, paper models, or problems that has happened with paper models, the computer age with the printers and capable of printing out cardstock and stuff has made it where I could literally just download a model. Like on some of my videos I have where you can literally download a model of a little vehicle or playset or whatever, and you don't have to really buy anything other than what you already have, your printer and your computer and all that kind of stuff. And it becomes expensive when you're trying to build something and buy a book that's, or a kit that says, oh, this is $10 for this. It better be a good kit for $10. So, alright. Now, my theory is that this is going to go like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that out for now, because I want to make sure I put the legs in the right place, and I'll assemble that at the end, unlike what they're saying to do here in the instructions. So let's take a look at the legs. Now, one of the things they say in the instructions here is they say fold it over carefully and try to, a little tip here, take your time when folding along scored lines. Make sure to make the folds as straight as you can. Well, they didn't do that here. I mean, and with the arms too. The folds that were, the creases that were done for the arms are all messed up. So that's kind of annoying. But again, I don't like it that the fact that they have attempted to do more for this thing than what is really necessary. I honestly don't think that you have to have such a complicated piece just to make a leg. But not my design, and that's what we're doing here, figuring out just what they're trying to do. But I will say this, I am really impressed with the strength of the cardstock. This is really substantial cardstock. Very good quality. Very nice indeed. There we go. Okay, so I'm also attempting to make sure that I'm keeping this on camera. Sorry if I'm not. I've got a little video screen here that I'm looking at every now and then to make sure that everything lines up. But I really don't know if I'm always keeping it in focus and keeping it in screen, because I'm looking away and looking at my part, making sure I'm folding it right and everything. Alright, so far so good. Wow, that's a lot of pieces there to make the foot. A lot of little components. I can honestly say at $10, I would have been, if I paid $10 for this, I would have been slightly disappointed. You have to understand, paper model kits are really a niche market. You can't guarantee that everybody is going to rush out to buy a paper kit. And it also had better be a really good kit too, if you want people to be able to make it. It better have some good, neat little techniques. I am impressed with how this works. You literally just fold the feet in. That is impressive. That is really impressive for a paper model. Now, the part I don't like is up here with the leg. We have to fold it around, fold that in, and that little tab somehow goes in place. Make sure I'm putting legs in right here. Alright, so that actually folds out. Looking at that, it folds out a little bit. Wow. Okay. All right, here's something interesting. There's a slot right here, but there's no tab for that to go into. It looks like there was a design change made in the middle of the run, so that's interesting. It tells me that there were some things they were going through when they were designing these things. Some issues came up, or things that were not exactly what they were expecting or that they wanted. Okay, so he's got a little bit of a kneecap. Okay. Alright, since that slot's there, I'm going to say that this goes in right here. Tell you what I'll do. Oh yeah, they've got it with a crease on it, so you can just put it in there. That's good. There's no way that's going to do that little slide over feature there. Alright. Well, that's in. That's okay. That's okay. Next. Other leg. But yeah, something to realize is when this was on the shelf in 2015, 2016, you could get a plastic Star Wars action figure for around $10, if I remember right. I tried looking that up to make sure I wouldn't be misleading that, and I couldn't really find anything that said, yeah, they were $10 definitively, but I do remember looking at the toys at the time and realizing that when this was on the shelf, I was interested in them because I like paper model kits and stuff like this. But at $10 for this, I was kind of disheartened at the price. That was way too much for a kit. But I will say this again. I've mentioned it already. I've really impressed with the card stock. This card stock is really good. I think I would have found the $10 a little bit more palatable, but still I would have said, no more. In fact, I remember going into Toys R Us and seeing these kits and thinking, oh wow, that is so nice. And I really want to build one of those. And then when I saw the price, I can remember saying to myself, that's not worth that. I'm sorry, it's just not. I could not justify that price. So I didn't buy them. Now, on the secondary market, you can find these all over the place. Like I said, these two were gifted to me, one by Gojitron and the other by the little local toy shop. Didn't feel like dealing with it in their inventory anymore. Retro Madness. You could probably find these on eBay, and I've seen some of them. They're less than $10 now. Sometimes you can find a whole bunch of them, all in one big set, for $10 or less. I would say try to stay in that ballpark and stay less than $10. You have to understand, I've been buying paper model punch-out books for years. And we're talking about books that are out of print, have been out of print since the 60s and 70s, and I'll pay $75 to $150 for one of those. This is less than 10 years old. If this was 2015, this kit is just 10 years old. Change my camera there. That's not bad. That's not a bad little set so far. He looks good. All right. Now, let's see. We have to do the helmet piece. Okay, we've got a head here. Kinda looks like the head of Vader. I'm going to say this, that does not look like Sebastian Shaw at all there. Okay, I'm sorry. That doesn't look like him. But they tried. What can you say? They tried. Trying to put this together. Good. Again, you see, they're trying to do so much with him. Make the part fold over and make a nice pseudo rounded shape. That's a lot of work, a lot of effort involving in that there. All right, there's Vader's head. That is neat that they made it where the helmet and everything is separate from the body. So, I mean, from the head, so you can actually make him. You actually take his helmet off. That is neat. I thought it was just going to be the box package didn't show anything of being able to remove his helmet. Several years ago, I looked up stuff about these kits to see if they were making any more. There were plans to make a bunch, but they stopped. They stopped making them. I think the whole thing kind of fell out as people quit spending so much on the little paper kits. Vader's helmet. Okay, so now let's see. Let's take the cape out. Definitely not a soft goods cape, people. All right. Sorry about that, got off the camera a little bit. There we go. Trying to make sure this all fits on. He's getting really tall now. Change my camera angle. So there it is. The head is on. There's the helmet. Crooked. One arm. now we have his lightsaber. Now his lightsaber, this is a really thick board. This is really thick. So let's put his lightsaber in. It's supposed to come out the other side there. Anyway, can't get it out the other one. But there he is. There is the Jazwares Star Wars Blueprints paper model kit. All things aside, it's not a bad kit. If you like paper models, you like these type of little kits, this wouldn't be a bad little thing to get. It took about 30 minutes to build, let's see, but it's still a good little kit. Now, the problems, instructions are vague at best. They are very generalized, kind of interesting. The kit itself is good, but your finished product has some posability. You can pose it. And the finished product, well, I will say this, it's not as impressive as I thought it would be. I do like some of the things, like you can remove the helmet, and there's the Darth Vader, Sebastian Shaw look. Still a neat figure with some neat ideas. I think they did a good job of making this. They took some design directions that I would not have done. I think I would have made different parts for each of the parts of the limbs, like the bicep and the forearm would have been separate pieces, and the thigh and the lower legs would have been separate pieces, and it would have just gone together a lot faster, I think, instead of attempting to make it out of a single piece. The cape is kind of neat. I think it sticks out nicely. The helmet, though he looks like a block, is really kind of nice, and the fact that you can remove it and show his head off, the head underneath looks really good. So that is the Jazwares Darth Vader posable Papercraft kit, blueprints, as they used to call it. These were, as I said earlier, a little expensive for the time, but if you like making these kits, if you like making paper model kits, they're on eBay. They had a whole bunch of different versions. They had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they had Spider-Man, they had the Avengers, and I have an Avengers Hulkbuster armor video from Age of Ultron that I did, and I'll put a link to it below. They made some interesting little licensed characters and licensed options. So still, is it something that would have been a way to introduce little kids into building paper models? This thing says it's for 6+. I'm honestly not sure. I don't think a little kid would have been able to, especially today, tolerate it going putting this thing together. That may be why the kit itself is why the whole line didn't work out. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.